Hey everyone, and welcome to the relaunch of the American Whovian Fan Girl podcast. This is Carol Ann, and I want to thank you for watching and joining me here today. Earlier today, my awesome friends over at the Whovians podcast did a episode dedicated to the 11th Doctor's adventure, The Angels Take Manhattan. I am very sorry I wasn't able to join you guys, but I ended up taking my cousin Chris, who is going to be 40 years old soon, to the casino for his birthday. I totally lost, but despite being $96 in the hole, I did walk away with this cute little guy. It's the Vasta Narada little mini figure. It's really cool. Yeah, so at least this is something. So, anywho, I just wanted to give my 2 cents worth about The Angels Take Manhattan. Let me say right off the bat that I didn't think this was the best episode, in the series. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7, and I'll tell you in a minute why I did give it like a 7 instead of like a 5, which is really all it's worth. But first off, I'll tell you what I had a problem with. First off, it was humorous, but the Statue of Liberty being an angel, come on. Why didn't anybody else in all of New York City see it? So that's a big problem. You would think, even though that time, New York City is time locked, there's going to be like photos and pictures of that somewhere. So I don't know. I just had a whole problem with that whole Statue of Liberty thing and nobody else seeing it except for, the Doctor and the Ponds, and Ripper Song, it's, I just, that gave me a problem. Another thing is, okay, because of everything that happened, that time period is time locked. But River Song, who has the vortex manipulator, she's able to go back and forth. So I had a couple of questions. One, we know that people can piggyback, with a vortex manipulator. Remember, with the end of season 5 with the Pandorica and all that, the Doctor told Roy, here, put your hand on top of the vortex manipulator, and we'll go to the present. Although we didn't see that happen because Rory stayed behind to protect Amy inside the Pandorica, we get an idea that can happen. So why didn't River, go back in time and take her parents one by one back to the present? Also, even though New York City was time locked, why, we know that people can go to and fro, because if people didn't go on with their lives, then nothing would have happened. Time would have stopped in New York City, So why didn't Amy and Roy just go somewhere? Why didn't they just hop on a plane or hop on a train or hop in a car, go to some other city or state, or go to London? The Doctor would show up sooner or later in London, and end of story. So the idea that the Doctor will never see the Ponds again, it's like, huh? So I think even though Moffat made it clear that that was the end of the Ponds, it's kind of stupid the way he ended it, because it, obviously, any Whovian, with a brain would be, thinking, wait a minute, that's not the case. That's not the end. If they really wanted to see the doctor again, and Rory wanted to see his father again, there's a way to do it. And I just wasn't crazy about it. And in my opinion, I'm never going to give an episode less than a 5. In my opinion, it's 5 to a 10, or if you want, it's 1 to 5. And unless a show is really, really like totally sucks, then it deserves below a 5. But my range always tends to be 5 being like I really wasn't crazy about it, and 10 being perfect. The reason why I'm not giving this one a 5 is because of 2 scenes. The first scene that I totally loved was when the doctor healed River Song's wrist. Everything leading up to that scene, like directly before that scene and at that scene, was really great. The look on the doctor's face when he was healing River, it was priceless. You can really tell that he really did like care and love her, just the look on his face. And then like with River Song being, oh my God, I can't believe you wasted, your regeneration energy like that, that whole scene was just like, oh, it like gave me goosebumps, that was just a priceless scene. And another reason for me why I think Matt was one of the best doctors. I know a lot of people don't agree. Everybody's still hooked on David Tennant, and right so. David Tennant was a great doctor, but I really think Matt Smith was equally great, and that scene was one of the scenes that proved it. Just that whole emotion in there, and he really didn't say a word, just the look on his face. The other scene was obviously the end, when Rory sees the tombstone, with his name on it, and then the angel zaps him back. That's another problem I had, with the angel being there, and surviving. But, anyway, that scene when Amy was making the choice, she finally was making the choice, okay, Rory is all my life and the doctor is not. Because up to that point of the whole season, they were struggling, the Ponds, because they were struggling with the idea of whether or not they should like move on with their lives without the doctor or be in the doctor's life. And Amy finally made that decision. And when she turned around and said, Raggedy Man, goodbye, and then the look on the doctor's face when he knew, obviously I have a problem with it, but, when he knew that he wouldn't see her again, that was just so, that was one of the best scenes, that Matt did, just that pure emotion, on his face, and he didn't say a word, it was just, he was like, oh my God, I lost her. So that's why I'm not giving it below a 7. It is worth a 7, and it's worth a 7 instead of a 5. It pushes it up 2 points because of Matt Smith's performance. I am glad that the Ponds are gone. A lot of people, still miss them. My problem with, with Moffat and the Ponds is the companions should never become more important than the doctor, and that's what Moffat did with the Ponds. Amy and Rory became, especially Amy, became more important than the doctor, and that was totally, totally wrong. The Doctor Who is about the doctor. If it was about the companions, then it would be called Companions in Space. It wouldn't be called Doctor Who. And I was really happy that the Ponds left. I think they should have left way sooner. Yes, there was like some great moments during, seasons 5 and 6 and, stuff like that, but yeah, I don't know. I was glad that the Ponds left, but, with this episode, Angels Take Manhattan, there were a lot of problems. That's another thing that I just thought of. Why did the doctor not, figure out something to kill the angel. The angel was still there. The angel wasn't dead. The angel still had the ability to, zap people back in time or whatever. And why did he leave? I mean, did, River Song go back and take care of the angel? We don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of ifs and a lot of like what's going on with this episode. So, but Matt Smith performance, pulled it up and made it like a memorable episode. But yeah, so that's my 2 cents worth. Take it as it is. So anyway, I also wanted to let you guys know that I was looking at all of my online stuff, and I have like so much stuff out there, and a lot of reasons why I haven't done as much as I should be doing is because I get an idea and then I'm trying to figure out where should I put it. In this case with the sci-fi podcast, I have another one called the Idris Diaries. I did that. I came up with the Idris Diaries because one of my favorite Doctor Who episodes from the current series, starting with Christopher Eccleston to present, is the Doctor's wife. And Idris was the name of the woman who became the TARDIS, she died and in her body was put the matrix of the TARDIS. So I came up with the Idris Diaries with the idea of having like other people joining me. And, thank you. I did have some like awesome people joining me, especially Matrix Lord. He was like my number 1 guest. But I've decided to do away with the Idris Diaries. And for a sci-fi fantasy Doctor Who podcast, it's strictly going to be the American Whovian Fan Girl. Anybody that wants to join me, go right ahead. The idea is every Wednesday at 8:30 I am going to be doing some kind of show, whether it be Doctor Who, whether it be like sci-fi fantasy. If you want to join me, message me, leave a comment, and we'll figure something out. I like to do stuff on Skype. I have a program that tapes it, and I just like that better than doing Google Hangouts. That's not to say once in a while I'll do a Google, I'll do a Google Hangout if you guys want, but feel free to comment and let me know if you want to join me. I look forward to doing this weekly podcast. This Wednesday, I am going to be doing a podcast on my thoughts on Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So if you guys saw the movie, both movies, and you want to join me, let me know. So again, recap, I wasn't crazy about Angels Take Manhattan. I give it a 7. Matt Smith is the reason why I gave it a 7 and not a 5. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you for listening, and hope to be chatting with you soon. Night.